Hello, here we are with an unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy S4 Zoom. You can see here from the retail packaging, it looks very much like the packaging we've seen on other Samsung Galaxy S4 devices. So we've got this wood effect box. On the back we've got a quick rundown of the specification, including the official Samsung product number SM-C101. So it's 8 gig of internal memory, approximately of which 5 gig is available once the OS is installed. We've got 10 times optical zoom, and that's on the 16 megapixel front-facing camera, or we've also got a 1.9 megapixel front-facing camera. Depends how you look at it. The 16 megapixel camera is technically on the back, but it's the front when you look at it as in a normal camera. You've got a dual-core 1.5 gigahertz processor. You've got a 4.3-inch Super AMOLED display. We've got HSPA+, we've got a 2,330 mAh battery, got Google Android, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, image stabilization, we've got it all. So without further ado, let's open up this box and show you the S4 Zoom. So the S4 Zoom is quite an interesting product because it's a smartphone with a camera bolted to it rather than it being an evolution of the Galaxy camera. So we'll come back to that in a moment. In the box here we've got the standard quick start guide and warranty information. We've then got a white USB cable with micro USB connectivity at the other end, so that's for charging and connecting to a computer. We've got a set of in-ear headphones with a 3.5mm jack. We've got inline controls and in-ear style buds. We've also got a set of replacement earbuds and a variety of sizes there. We've got provided in the box with this, a bit tricky to get out here, we've got a cleaning cloth. That's a nice little addition to the box contents. We've then got the 2 pins for the mains adapter here, which we open up. So it's white to match the color of the camera. So that pops in there like so to give us a 3-pin mains adapter. We've got USB port on the top for connecting the supplied USB cable to. And just to show you here, it's actually got a power rating of 1 amp, not the faster 2 amp that we've seen on a lot of devices. And finally we've got the battery here, which is a 2,330 milliamp hour battery and is of course removable. So here is the S4 Zoom, and it's dominated on the back of the device with this, the lens. It's a 16 megapixel camera with 10 times optical zoom. It's going to give you a lot better photos than you can expect from the Galaxy S4 and the Galaxy S4 Mini. We've got sort of the timer and LED notification here. We've got a xenon flash on the front. We've got a speaker up here. We've got the Samsung logo, and we've got a raised bit here for actually gripping the device. And as you see, as we tilt it, on the bottom we've got a removable piece here which is actually for a tripod mount, so you can actually mount this to a tripod. We've got a micro SD card slot here which accepts cards up to 64 gig in capacity, so you don't need to worry about running out of space. We've then also got a bit here to actually connect a lanyard strap to. Coming around to the side where this bulges, we've got the micro USB ports here for charging. It also has USB host functionality. We've also got a microphone there. We can pop our nail in to open this up, and under the cover is where we insert the battery. So we just move this across like so, and we can insert the removable battery into the slot. So let's just do that now. Now this is a unique product, the S4 Zoom. It's a phone with a camera bolted on, so you do have a SIM card slot just here where you can pop your SIM card into. It's not 4G enabled, but you've got 3G and HSPA+, so you're going to get fast internet connectivity. Coming around to the top, we've got a dedicated shutter button here for actually taking pictures. We've then got the volume up and down keys, we've got the power button. We then, right on this side, got a 3.5mm headphone jack, got another microphone, we've got an infrared blaster there, and then we're back round to the base of the device. So if we then turn the device over on the back or the front, however you want to look at it, we've got a 4.3-inch Super AMOLED display. We've got a 1.9 megapixel front-facing camera, we've got a loudspeaker, some sensors, the Samsung logo, got the home button and the touch-sensitive navigation keys here. So we'll just power this on. Now the 4.3-inch screen is more reminiscent of the Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini, so although it's got S4 in the name, it's not got a 5-inch display like the original Galaxy S4. The specs have also been toned down on this a little bit, so you've got dual-core processors rather than quad-core on the S4. You've got less memory of 8 gig installed on here. It weighs in at just over 200 grams, but it's a completely different device. You can see it's got more of a compact camera form to it, but you've got that phone functionality on it. Now it can be used completely as a phone. It's not a Galaxy camera where the phone functionality has been disabled. You can see we've got the phone icon here, and we can actually dial a number and use it as a phone and hold it to our heads. Now it's going to be personal opinion whether you want to actually use this as a phone. It's a bit big and bulky in comparison to the likes of the S4, but it can be used like that, and more of us now are relying less on phone calls and relying on the data connectivity more so it might be that it'd be very rare for you to actually take a call on this device. Now we're at the home screen here. Now this is one of my personal annoyances of this device. Being this sort of compact camera form, you feel inclined to use it in landscape mode, but the home screen doesn't orientate in landscape mode. Certain applications do, like messaging and the gallery, but you're sort of geared to use the phone side of it in portrait mode. Now you can get around that with different launchers, but it would have been nice to have that option there. Now I'm not going to go through Android on this. It's very similar to the Galaxy S4 and the Galaxy S4 Mini in terms of the features and the customization that you've got, but I will point out a few things. So let's firstly just go into the settings and show you about the device. So just to confirm, we're looking at the SMC 101 running Android version 4.2.2. Now in terms of storage, it's got 8 gig internal storage. Now available on here is approximately 4.88 gig. Now we have already set this device up, so you're getting around about 5 gigs. That may not be truly accurate, but you've got the expansion up to 64 gig with the micro SD card there as well. You've got all the abilities to add on your different accounts, be it Samsung account, Google accounts, Exchange accounts. You've got all of that there. You've got controls over your lock screen, your display. Now we've got this set up to almost full brightness. There we go, up to full. And you've got sort of font controls and key light options and things like that. Now one of the things to point out that's different with the zoom as opposed to the S4 Mini and the S4 is you've got this open camera. Now if we switch this feature on, what it basically allows us to do is every time we press the power button on here, the camera will open, and in that sense you can use this more like a compact camera. And now you can turn that feature on and off, but if you're going to use this primarily as a camera, it's a nice feature to have. You've got power saving mode, you've got motions and gestures here. Now you don't have quite the same number of motions and gestures as you do on the Galaxy S4. There are some limits to it, so you don't have the smart pause, and that also goes for sort of like the air view and the gestures where you scroll across to scroll through images. Some of that is limited here, but you do have some of the smart screen features, so if you're actually looking at the screen, it will keep the display powered on. You've got all the connectivity options including Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and because this is a phone, obviously you've got your data usage and mobile networks there as well. NFC, S-Beam and screen mirroring options. Into the apps, well, it's fairly straightforward. A lot of your Google Android apps pre-installed on here, but one or two to take note of. You've got Photo Suggest, which has been installed by Samsung, and as the name sort of implies, it takes your GPS location and suggests spots whereby you may want to take pictures based on photos that other people have taken in those locations. So that's quite handy. May help you get better photos if you're out and about. So that's a nice little touch. You've got a lot of the Samsung software on here out of the box. But you've got your YouTubes, your video editors, and you've got Watch on, and that's what uses the IR blaster on here to essentially use this as a remote control for your television and audio visual equipment. You've got widgets that you can customize the home screen with, and you've got shortcuts all up here for different settings, which can all be customized. So I don't need to go into that sort of in a lot of depth there for you. Now, where this device really stands out is for those people who want to take a lot of pictures on the move. You may not want to go to a compact camera or a digital SLR. You may want something that's a bit better than your standard smartphone, perhaps a bit cheaper than going to all sort of separate equipment. And this could be a great option for that. So if you're into Instagram or sharing photos on Facebook, etc., you've got it all here. So let's pop into the camera application, which we can access from the home screen. The alternative way we can access that is by actually turning the dial, and we get it come up on screen, and you can choose what mode you want. So that helps for a quick option there. Let's just pop into auto. So what we can see is we've got the lens that's popped out here, and you can use this ring to actually control the zoom on the lens. So you can see how the lens is moving as I move this, and that gives you up to 10 times optical zoom. Now, I don't know how well you can pick this up. There is actually some plastic across the lens here. Now, if I just turn this device off, you'll see the lens closes. Now, on a lot of cameras, you can actually touch that lens and get behind the little shutter, but you can't on here. You've got plastic over the front of it, which can't be removed from what I can see. Now, I think that's a good and a bad thing. It stops dust and debris getting in there, and bearing in mind this is likely to come in and out of a pocket, that's a good thing. I'm not sure whether in time that potentially could get scratched when laid flat on a surface and potentially affect the image quality. It's doubtful, but it could happen. So when the hand sets off, you can move this all about, but it doesn't do anything. You've got to power it on to sort of access the camera, and then we're into the camera application. Now, there's loads of things we can touch on here, but I'm just going to go through the main things. So we've got this mode option, and this is where you can set your camera settings. So we're in auto here, where it automatically detects, but you can help the camera out a little bit and use the smart option and set particular things so that the camera is configured according to what you want to take. So if you're taking a picture of a sort of dawn where the sun's rising, you select that and the camera's configured. If you're taking something of something close up, the macro shot, it's all configured for you. You've also got expert mode, and this essentially is where the sort of cameras come into its own, really. It's sort of a merging of the digital SLRs and the compact cameras that give you this control. So you can control a variety of settings like you would on a more advanced camera, be it digitally. You're actually able to do this here with white balance, etc., and all these different sort of settings that you've got in terms of the aperture and colors, etc. You get the idea. And then you've also got my modes, which are ones where you've sort of customized yourself. So let's just go into auto, because that's what a lot of us will be sort of starting with. If it's going to let us, it's just frozen there, typical. We haven't had that problem in previous testing. Right, so back in auto mode now, and down here we've got access to some effects that we can apply, which is kind of useful. So let's set to no effect. Up here we've got the little icon to switch between the front and rear facing camera. So here we are using the 1.9 megapixel camera here. Flick back. Then we've got zoom controls, so I can press on these to zoom the lens in and out. But I can do the same thing by actually turning, and you'll see that on screen it's changing as the lens does in terms of the zoom. To get the smoothest zoom, you want to use those plus and minus icons on screen. You can pop out here to get through to the settings, and there's lots of settings, but let's just touch on some of them. So you can control the flash, whether you've got a timer. You can control the photo size, so this takes pictures up to 16 megapixels, and it's only 1.9 on the front-facing camera. We've got the same sort of controls on the movie. So the rear camera records in full 1080p. The front-facing camera only records in 720. We've got motion controls. We can have sound. We can have sort of wind cut out through the microphone here. And lots of different settings. And you've got quick access to some here, such as your GPS location. you can switch that on from here. So it's up to you how you want to personalize it, and you've got settings for both the front and rear camera. You've also got the options of having sounds. So if you want to hold the camera steady, you can actually sort of give it voice commands, so such as flash on, and it will pick up your voice and do exactly what you say. So that's a nice touch. Got shutter buttons here for still images, like so. And then we've got the video recording key just here. So if we want to start recording a video, we just tap that, and then we're recording a video. You've still got the zoom controls in the video. You can stop or you can take pictures whilst recording video, as we've seen on previous devices. And then you've got a shortcut down here to the gallery where you can view back the content from the device. So it's just some test shots from the office here. Now we have been testing this over a few days, and we found the results to be pretty good so far. We do like the dedicated shutter button on the top. It's pretty instant. You can almost hear that. Sometimes it takes a moment to focus depending on the light. Now you can check out our website and blog for feedback on the image results and a full review of the device. But that's a quick unboxing and hands-on with the Samsung Galaxy S4 Zoom.